The IT guy came in here, and because I'm cheap, it bit me in the ass because I'm cheap. Their internet was fluctuating in and out. There was problems there, but they're like, you should be getting 200 megabits per second, and all your test speeds are coming in at 10, and it's because, or at best 100, and it's because my wireless router can only handle 10 to 15. Some of the LAN ports in my computers can only handle 100, and that was what was limiting the bandwidth. So now I should have some really great bandwidth. We shouldn't have any fucking issues because we're directly plugged in from the computer into the modem, bypassing the wireless router, which I get to now. Never fucking ends. Never fucking ends. Now I get to go make a trip to Micro Center and buy a whole new set of wires and routers, and then hopefully that will be the end of the problems today.
Well, I was kind of impressed you got somebody to go out there that quickly,
I went in this morning, and thank God I was tired because I was so pissed. I've been pissed off perpetually for about the past 2 weeks, because if you ever want to learn, if I wasn't a misanthrope already enough, if you want to really hate humans, go ahead and move, and then also try and build a house, because you increase the number of humans you're dependent upon exponentially, and critically so when you're moving, and then even more so when you make your money from home and the internet. And if that shit doesn't fucking work, it is money out the door. And then I've had curveballs thrown at me. I changed my IT guy. We're hosting on a different server. That server had a bad IP reputation. You ever hear of this?
No.
Remember that problem I was having with all my emails going into spam?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's he got a new. It wasn't his IP. He gets a new server. He sets it up. He's assigned an IP address. Well, somebody who previously had that IP address or domain name, I don't know what the fuck it is, was spamming people and all that. So that IP address gets a bad reputation, and then anything sent from that IP address, which is where my email server is on, goes into spam. Now Gmail had it so that now I hear the fucking call. Was your service satisfactory? Fuck off.
Hey, dude, just real quick, if I end up disappearing, it's because it is like a really bad thunderstorm out there right now. Yeah, it is like, wow. I'm still here.
No, that's all right. No, didn't Chicago get hit by a tornado like a couple of years ago?
Well, actually, yesterday there were tornado warnings while we were trying to have a Memorial Day barbecue. Yeah, it's been crazy here.
Oh, well, you guys get all the fun. Just get water. Anyway, I forgot where we're going, but
your bad internet situation.
So now, I think it's solved. And I have 3 days until June. I told everyone that I'm having guest writers write for my blog and all that. You know what? I'm kicking it another 2 weeks down the road because I gotta go fly out and visit Adam Piggott, and I'm just burnt out. I am so. Oh, and that's what I was gonna say is yesterday, because nothing was working and it was coming in and out and all that, and I was getting so fucking pissed because people fail. People are miserable. That I just zonked out and slept. And by the time I got up this morning, I was so groggy and tired. Had a triple shot of espresso. I went in, and instead of ripping the guy's head off, I was very calm, but I was still base level pissed, if that makes any sense. And I had done my research. I took screenshots, did speed tests, downloaded my own video. Remember that shitty video I tried to do where I kept cutting out on me every 5 minutes?
Oh, that was so awesome, man.
So I had that, and then I walk into their office. They got an actual physical office, and I'm waiting patiently in line. And they had, I think it was Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone. Was that the movie?
Yeah.
So Cliffhanger. And
Cliffhanger, yeah.
Yeah, they have it on this big screen TV, and it's blasted. And I'm like, dude, it's 9 a.m. in the fucking morning. I don't need. Have you got? Well, no, you haven't gotten gas. You have not had this experience, my fine young sir, because you don't have a car.
No, yeah. Who wants one of those things?
Well, when's the last time you pumped and filled up your own gas tank?
2004.
Let me tell you what you're missing out on now, my fine good sir. When you go to the gas tank or the gas station, you fill it up. Not only will they ask you, do you have a rewards card? Do you want a car wash, debit or credit? Do you belong to this club? Do you want to round up for this thing? Not only will you ask you 5 questions, meanwhile, it's 25 below zero and the wind's blowing in Minnesota. Once you start pumping the gas, noise blasts out behind you because they've put screens that run like some kind of commercial advertising for these gas station networks. And it's loud enough that I think they assume that you're deaf and they really want you to hear it. And I've almost turned around and just punched the screen several times.
Cool.
And so I walked in and here's this, it's a movie playing. It is truly annoying. It's almost like walking into a sports bar and they got the sports ball and it's just punishingly loud. And I go walking up to it because I was like third in line. And I see 2 controls and I grab 1 control, noise ain't working at. Second control, turned it all the way down. And the 2 guys who were the customer service are like, oh shit. And I just went back into line. And then I think that's what got them. What my documentation, then I'm like, here are your internet speeds.
Well, dude, you're such an asshole. How can you expect them to do their jobs without being able to watch movies?
They can watch the movie. They just don't have to hear the movie. You really don't have to. And I don't know, if some gal was, the classic old bus, that was the scene. The bus was over on the cliff. It was hanging, it was teetering.
Yeah, that was great. I like that movie.
Never done that before. And man, like, I wonder if they're going to live. And it was kind of like the dad came in. I think that may have been what it was. The dad came in, turned it down. Remember when your dad, I don't see Mr. Elkins getting pissed, but when your parents got so pissed, they were quiet? Do you remember that?
Yeah, and on that point, I think my dad may be watching this right now because I just talked to him, and for some reason he thinks you're hilarious. So
I am hilarious. Yeah, the angry, pissed off guy who just like talks about gleefully walking down the road and killing people with his own hands.
Loves it.
Yeah,
he loves it.
I bet you he might have had some experiences before, but if that entertains him, I'm glad my frustration and angst.
This should not be a curse-free episode.
It's not, but we're on the old. Well, it'll be what it'll be. It's the older brother. As long as we could say fuck, we could say damn, we could say shit, but we can't say a bundle of sticks. We can't say Kuantahaha.
I wouldn't say those anyway necessarily.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but we can't say the United something College Fund because that's untowards now. But we could say that on the Aaron Clary podcast. That channel we can. This is the nice clean podcast, where ironically all the 4-letter curse words are permittable, but words that were perfectly acceptable 5 years ago are no longer now. So,
as long as we're allowed to talk about the Carlson School of Management, like all my needs are met.
Did I tell you what happened to somebody on Facebook?
No.
So was it you that sent me the Carlson School of Management advertisement?
Somebody else did, but I saw it on your page.
Okay, so everybody who follows me on Facebook saw it. Now they're getting ads for the Carlson School of Management in their feed. I'm like, dude, it's fucking herpes. Like, you stop spreading it around, man.
I love the Carlson School. Whew.
Dude, it is the Harvard of the Midwest. It really. we should put a call out. I don't know how many people, if it Venn diagrams enough, but we should put a call out. Anyone who is a graduate from the Carlson School of Management, we should have like ex-students of the Carlson School come on the show to say what a shitty school it was and just what a rip-off and a craptastic school it was.
You could do that with almost any school. But I mean,
you could, yeah. But that school personally affected me. It personally taught me shit. It personally took my money. It cost me a huge price in terms of social, even romantic costs. It totally lied and misled. I mean, we could say that of any elder person of an elder generation. So I have a personal vendetta with the Carlson School of Management. And I'm not kidding. I think I got enough internet pull that I probably could ruin them. Cool. At least on the internet. Yeah, I mean, they fucked with the wrong guy. They really did. They fucked with the wrong guy.
I'd like to help if there's anything I could do.
What I could, no, and I've thought about it. I've also bought the domain name wisconsins.com and wisconsinsynod.org because I don't know if you knew this, religious people don't make the greatest businessmen. They don't have the most business savvy minds. But these domain names, I mean, it's kind of like you got your flanks wide open. You guys are dumb. You thought you know, you created all these little Frankensteins, treating them like shit and lying to them. Church or school, doesn't matter. You don't think they're going to come by to bite you in the ass? So, I mean, there's always the debate, you know, oh, let go. You know, life's too short. Live and let live. Revenge is not, the vengeance is saith, the mind saith. No, fuck you. Vengeance is mine, saith the Cappy. And if it's going to be that easy just to buy a domain name and occasionally pick on these people because they have bad SEO or they just have a bad internet presence, and through other means, I've gotten a pretty large internet presence. Yeah, I mean, what was it? If you search the Carlson School of Management, or should I attend the Carlson School of Management, @1 YouTube video is my video, comes up. And I sing its praises. I guarantee you I've cost them tens of thousands, if not hundreds. Well, wait, at least hundreds of thousands of dollars.
What they ought I was just saying what they ought to do is try to buy you out and be like, how much would it take for you to get rid of that video?
They would have to, for me to never like pick on them again and take everything down and all that, it would be $2 million after tax to me and $2 million after tax to this nice person I knew.
After tax, wow.
After tax, yeah. Well, all those Marxist socialists at the University of Minnesota, they want to pay those taxes, so they should be able to pay the, you know, they should be. So, but yeah, I've easily cost them, now that I thought about it. Then we look into it, and it's 56 grand a year to attend their MBA program.
Oh, it's insane. Even for in-state, I couldn't figure out why it was so expensive.
Right. And so what, if I got 2 people not to go there, which I certainly have, let's just say 20. I mean, we're talking, you know, maybe the old Capmeisters cost them $1 million.
Yeah, they really ought to pay for you to go away.
They really ought to pay me to go there. And you know what? I want an apology, and I want a recording. See, here it is again. The internet trying. I want a recording, and this would be like my insurance, my collateral, of them admitting that they are a bunch of fucking idiots. They offer no value. It's a scam. And then I say, if I ever fucking hear from you people again, this goes public, you know, and I put that under code and key and lock and crypto. And then when I die, it's acknowledge that it's destroyed or something like that. But yeah, it really is. The question is, do I want to go golf today, or do I want to cost the Carlson School of Management another 200 grand? And it's tempting at times. It's really tempting. Because going down that road, as much as it's all hate and anger and piss and vinegar, what are we doing when we prevent somebody from going to not necessarily just the Carlson School of Management, but a worthless business college, a worthless degree, making stupid shit? What are we doing?
I mean, not to be all hyperbolic, but you're kind of saving their lives.
We are doing the Lord's work. That's why we have the Older Brother podcast. And I have an article here that's funny as hell. I just opened it up and started laughing my ass off. But if people, this is why I set up the Older Brother website and Older Brother channel. There's money to be made, sure, programming, engineering, and all that. But there is a multi-trillion-dollar industry every year of lying. That's basically what it is. Propagandizing and lying young people to go down bad paths in life. And inevitably, they're going to come and say, God, I went down the wrong path. I need the good path. It's like, hey, here we are, and we're going to make some shekels off of it along the way. So it's a debate. Do I want to go have fun? And you would say, do you want to get your revenge against the Carlson School? Do you want to get your revenge against the Wisconsin Synod Lutheran people? Or are you actually helping save lives? And we're kind of doing both. We're getting our revenge and we're saving lives. You know, it's like killing Nazis. You know, it's like, hey, we're going to free the Jews and kill some Nazis along the way. Win-win.
Well, speaking of Jews, we have a bunch of super chats.
What are you implying there, Mr. Elkins, about my tribe? What are you saying about my quarter lineage?
No, it's the very first one that pertains to this from Bacon for $2.23. He says, why is Aaron clearing with the brackets and the echo in such a bad mood? And you were explaining why you were.
It's not worth going down. I'm in a bad mood because I tried to take on too many. Well, it's not too many things. I should be able to take on all these projects I want to do. And life doesn't always go steady as she goes, you know? Selling a house, that takes some effort, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to clean, you got to prepare it, you got to clean and all that. There's paperwork and all that. Then there's moving to the new place. Then there's the proceeds with the money. Then there's building a new place. I drew diagrams. You got to go into houses, look, okay, is this, because you want to measure not twice, then cut once, but when you're building your home and drawing the diagrams, and you want to measure 3 or 4 times, like, all right, is this enough? Is this going to fit in here before we send the blueprints off to the guy? And then all the petty, oh, my email server isn't working, so I had to go and figure out some DNS shit with that and Google this, Google that. It just adds up. And then you got to fly here, I got to fly there, I got to repair this, got to repair that. And yeah, it's been a real bad 2 weeks, and stressful too much. So if someone wants to help, some really rich person like Jeff Bezos's ex-wife, who's now donated all of that hard-earned money to some fucking charity, if she wanted to throw some money this way, that would really make it $250,000 would definitely make my life a lot easier right now. So,
well, speaking of money,
okay.
I'm working on my segues here. How am I doing?
You're doing good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. People tune in to see you shake your ass, Chad. They're not here for me. They're here for you.
Oh man. Well, this question is for me.
See,
All Pro Lemonton for $2 says, I'm starting the CPA exam this summer, Chad. Any tips? Just so for those who don't know, the CPA exam, it's actually 4 exams, and you have to pass all 4 within an 18-month time period. Otherwise, you have to start over and you lose credit for exams you already passed and took.
Ouch.
So yeah, it sucks. So my advice to All Pro Lemonton, take the 2 hardest sections first. Take the financial one and take the regulation one first. It's the most material, the worst one to study. Just get them out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty common sense.
That's a good tidbit. See, I'm not joking. This whole realm of the accounting profession, a lot of people want to go and become accountants, and there's so many bells and whistles and levers. You've gone through it. You haven't thought much about it, but there is a lot to it. That's why we keep getting questions.
You lose almost a year of your life with these exams. It's horrible. I almost think it's a little bit too much for getting something like the CPA. Like, we're not doctors.
Yeah.
So
I think the day is coming. They're always, there's not going to be any doctors. There's not going to be any dentists. There's not going to be any engineers. So quit making it so fucking difficult. How about let's start with, I don't need to take women gender English studies for 2 fucking years of my life up front. How do I just, I want to become an accountant. Can I just skip to my junior year and start studying accounting, and then I'm out in 2 years and I study for the CPA?
I agree with that. I took so many worthless courses that I had to pay for, that were not applicable to anything I do right now. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Again, if we really cared about the children, here I think I'd be with the millennials. The millennials might see where I'm not evil reincarnate. I didn't want you to take those 2 years of college, but you guys keep voting Democrat, and then Democrats will get this 4-year degree according to the HSEO, which is the Higher Education Service Organization, something like that. You need to get all these classes in diversity and black cocksucking studies. I have minored in black cocksucking, so I'm diverse. And then maybe we could get rid of that. I have a plan to get rid of colleges altogether. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm going to write a book about it, and people can pay for it.
I'd look forward to that one. That'd be a good idea.
Well, it's going behind Patreon. If you could, I swear to God, Chad, you could give people the cure for cancer for free. No one would take it. You got to charge those fuckers.
Agree.
You got to charge them. Yeah.
Dude, every time I give free advice for what I do, it never has an effect unless somebody pays for it. So I agree with you 1,000% about that.
Yep. So, would you like some good news?
Yeah.
Some good news. And I gotta, God bless her, even though I pick on her. Maybe I like her that much on Tuesdays. Not much though. Maybe not hate as much. The rest of the time, I hate her guts. Absolutely. But the lovely Mary Jo.
She's in the chat.
Is she?
Yeah.
She should be at work. Go to work. Just got off the freaking typey phone thing with her, and all she did was insult me and pick on me. I'm like, shouldn't you be working? She's like, I'm multitasking. I'm a girl. I'm like, get your little ass back to contributing GDP. Well, she's fucking around on the internet.
Well, to be fair, this is one of the most enlightening streams you can find.
That is true. And we got our beards rocking. I see you got your beard rocking there too.
I was going to ask later if people liked my beard. One, if they did, 2, if they didn't. But
well, let's do it now. Let's get it, because it's 92% guys that tune in. Not joking. According to Google Analytics, 92%. There's a damn good chance Mary Jo's the only female listening right now.
I think you're probably right. Well, anyway.
The GF said you look good with it.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
Yeah.
I don't
the last time you had it looking like Jebediah Johnson, she's like, he looks like an axe murderer, but now you got a nice trimmed beard. She likes it.
So that's what I'm trying to avoid, is looking like an axe murderer. I just want to look like an accountant that nobody will mess with, like that shitty movie that came out a couple years ago.
I thought you liked it with Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I watched it again recently, and I'm like, wow, this actually isn't as good as I thought it was.
Well, I think if you pull it off with that 5 o'clock shadow, you could be the alcoholic detective CPA accountant. I'm still going for that. I think there's a comic book or a movie in there somewhere.
Oh, dude, I'm about to put a mini fridge in my office, and I'll stock it up with liquor, so you can walk in there and have whiskey and be like, so what do we have to solve?
Yeah, exactly. And you see, but then you need the hot blonde secretary. But since your office is so small, I don't know where she'd walk in from. She'd have to sit in the hall.
Yeah, she can be under my desk. Wink, wink. No.
That's not, I don't think there's enough room in there. You have basically a large hallway for an office, which is cozy as hell. Again, I love it, but it's really only one person and then another person on the therapy couch.
Yeah, it's definitely too small.
You know,
but whatever.
Well, hang on, but I got to tell you the good news.
Okay.
So the lovely Mary Jo has been kind enough to give you yahoos, you morons, a little bit of pinup grace. And she has provided some really good ones. I was just like, whoa, holy cow. And one where I'm like, maybe we don't put that one on the end of us. It's like, that's a little much. And I don't want to upset the rules and the laws of Patreon. So, but God bless her. She's actually put together some nice pictures. And I put those behind the Patreon wall. So for those of you who've been kind enough to donate through Patreon, now you get something when you donate to Patreon. I know that my world's greatest post I've ever done, some of the greatest philosophical, economic, hard-sitting, thinking, outlining notes and everything post called Sanity is the Future of Wealth. I know that went over like a fart in church with you guys. But now that Mary Jo has shown a little bit of lingerie and bikini-clad TNA, now guess what's happened to Patreon donations?
You're finally starting to go up from like $5 to $7?
No, we're from 42 to 83. She almost doubled. She doubled.
That's amazing.
I know it is. And she's tickled. She thinks it's great. You know, you and I could pose in bikinis. I don't think we get a nickel. But you know, you throw some cute Latina out there, and all of a sudden the guy, and it's like, what about my brilliant economics over here? Ah, fuck you guys. Here's some more filth, you dogs. So, but no, they're really good. And then there was one where I was like, okay, yeah, that's going behind the paywall. So I don't know. I guess you guys, if you want to see what's behind there. So I'm trying to. She's agreed to provide, maybe one a month or some more in the future. So it's not just this is all you get, but. And I'm trying to list others as well. And they're like, oh, yeah, talk to my boyfriend. Shut the fuck, gee, fuck. Jesus Christ. So well, that's the good news. That's the good news.
Speaking of possible fornication with pretty women, Carlos Miranda for $2. he goes, Cappy, recovery time for sex after a vasectomy.
Should be, I think, well, you got to lie down. Well, you don't have to lie down, but you should lie down. I think you had like frozen peas on your nuts for 2 to 3 days. But I think you're supposed to wait a week or two at least. I don't know. It's been a decade and change since I had one. I mean, go look it up on the internet. But yeah, no, don't fuck around with that, man. Let me tell you and make your $2 worth it here. You do exactly what the doctor tells you. I take more care over what the doc told me about my nuts than what my brain, like a brain says, you really ought to stop. Okay. And then don't do this with your nuts. I'm like, okay, boss, I won't. Yeah. So ask your doc, go online, but you can walk after like 2 or 3 days, regularly, but then, yeah, don't mess with that. Just let's play it by the rules here.
Well, how old were you when you got that again?
29, 30.
Oh, wow.
It was a long time ago. It was a while ago.
And did they try to talk you out of it? Like I've heard some doctors do. They just said,
well, that happened to our buddy Marcus.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. That's why and somebody else I know, same thing. So I guess.
Yeah, I never had that happen. No, he you want? I'm like, yep. I'm like, you thought about it? I'm like, yep. I'm like, okay. So yeah. And if anyone gives you guys any guff about getting it, just go find another doctor. It's not that hard. Not to bring abortion into it because it's just such a boring and non-controversial issue. It's like, okay, so Alabama bans it. Don't you just go to the Planned Parenthood to Mississippi? I don't know. It's kind of, I guess, according, not to bring politics into it either, but did the left not have choice? These guys won't make you a gay wedding cake. Well, can't you just go down the road to the other? They don't have a monopoly. You can go down the road, and we don't serve white males here. All right, you know what? I think you're dickheads, but me personally, I think you should have the right. If you don't want to serve people, it's fine. You don't want my money, I'll leave. I'd rather not give you my money. Please tell me you're a bigot or a homophobe or something.
You've written so many articles and had some good videos about outrage porn. That's what gets people.
Outrage porn.
Outrage porn.
Not actual porn that's about outrage.
Yeah,
me
like
raging.
Right. The SJWs. This is how they get their dopamine and serotonin fix is to complain and act like they're changing things.
Yeah, look how the millennials changed the world. They really are. Yeah.
So you and I don't think that way.
I was just thinking, you really got to stop and think about it. Like, how boring is your life? How nothing you got going on that I'm trying to, something that would be similar. Let's say a mosque didn't allow me in because I don't think you can just walk into a mosque or a Catholic church. Are you Catholic? No, I'm not Catholic. You can't come in here. I wouldn't even get pissed. I'd be like, okay, those are their rules. Or if I want to go to a synagogue, I guess you got to go through whatever their version of catechism is. I just can't wear the beanie hat. I understand that groups would like to keep their own groups and have their own rules and have their own culture. And someone says, you must be this tall to ride this ride. And I can't do that at Great America because I was a short guy. It didn't get me pissed off to the point where I thought, I'm going to go and change the world and make those fuckers pay. I was just kind of like, oh, they got their rules. All right, that's fine. I guess I'll go over here and do something else. But yeah, how sad is your life if not only that pisses you off, you're going to go file a lawsuit with the state to get a cupcake company shut down?
I personally don't understand it. I mean, there's too many things I would like to do that would give me enjoyment, like hobbies. And if not, there's plenty of work I have to do. So I don't get it personally.
Yeah. In between you and me in Madison, Wisconsin, there's a grade A Kuantaha. And I mean a person who is worthless. And she drives around the country filing lawsuits where, say, a public park happens to have a crucifix on it that memorializes World War I vets. And she'll go file a lawsuit against the local city, and the local city doesn't have the budget, and she gets donations and all that. And you could find what she does despicable, but if you look at the opposite side of the coin, it's like, what's her life like?
It's horrible.
Oh yeah, and when you look her up and you look, I don't think she's married anymore, but she's got her kids into this cult. That's what it is. It's nothing but a cult. I almost am tempted next time I go to Chicago. I know where her address is somehow available. Not to harass her or anything like that, but just to drive past it. Like, what's this life like? Are you out in the Hicks and this is what you do? This is what you get your jollies off of, is making small little towns, the municipality of Bobson and nowhere in the panhandle of Oklahoma, because they had in 1917 they built a crucifix commemorating the 5 lost brothers of Mrs. Tilly Magoo, who's now a widow. That grade A Kuantaha, her purpose in life is to go hunt down that city council and get that crucifix removed. Yeah, I got better shit to do with my life. And then you look at these people, they're just miserable. And not only psychologically and emotionally ugly people, but they are also typically physically revolting as well.
Right. I mean, I don't get it, man.
Yeah. So we'll keep lobbying Mary Jo for pictures of her cleavage. I think that's what we'll do. I think that's a more pointed, dedicated purpose in life, more noble.
Well, it's better than trying to ruin people's lives. I'll say that.
All right, let's go through super chats real quick, and I have some advice for our younger brothers and sisters out there.
All right, now we got a bunch here, so we'll
bang them out. Bang them out.
The next one is bacon for $5.56.
Hold it, I got to hang on. Let's talk about bacon. Not to interrupt the flow here. He's giving me shit about being Jewish, right?
Oh, but everybody does that.
Yeah, no, I know. That's perfectly fine. Isn't he like a billion things? Doesn't he have like, isn't he like a quarter Samoan, a quarter black, a quarter white, quarter Indian, quarter Jew himself, maybe? Or am I thinking of somebody completely different?
I think you might be thinking of somebody different. I don't remember him mentioning that.
I thought he was a mutt of some kind. It'd be funny if he was a quarter Jew. But anyway, to promote him, the goddamn bacon.
Goddamn bacon.
The goddamn, not the goddamned bacon, the goddamn bacon.com. And he's doing good on his podcast. He's got his website reorganized and it's looking pretty good right now.
And before I read his super chat, he made a comment in the chat that he says he likes the way my beard is coming in. So thank you, Bacon.
Oh, there you go.
So he did say the older brother college agents in the field episode would make for an interesting episode. And before my internet cuts out, new show is up. So go to the goddamnbacon.com.
All right. I will. I'll download that and listen to it. So, all right. What else?
All righty. Ray John, our old buddy. No, but this is great. For $5 Canadian, he says, "Hey fellas, I enjoy watching the show." And then shortly after that, he gave us $20 Canadian.
Really?
Yeah, which is what, like $16 or something?
15, $16. Yeah, they're off about 30, 25%. I'll tell you this: if you like a Canadian blogger like Stefan Molyneux, Jordan Peterson, Small Dead Animals. If you don't know them and you want to help them out now, because it's like 30% off your donation. So
really?
Oh yeah, well, because of the exchange rate.
Huh.
When you donate US dollars to the Canadian, they translate it into Canadian dollars. So they're getting like an extra 20, 30% boost, or you're getting discounted 20, 30%, however you want to look at it. So if you wanted to donate to any Canadian blogger you like The Rebel, again, Peterson, Molyneux, and Small Dead Animals is my personal favorite. Her name's Kate. She's a wonderful woman. Go ahead and donate now because it's cheaper. You don't want to donate when we're down. Then they got to send that money back. Like, hey, remember 2019 when we helped you guys out? Because you had that pussy Trudeau and he crushed the exchange rate. All right, come on. Yeah, send it back.
Hi, everybody. This is Stefan Molyneux. I hope you're doing well. All right.
What about your mother?
The state this. No, I'm going to. So for $20 Canadian, Ray John says, this is a serious question here. Hey, guys, I'm Canadian and sent an application to our military. But the United Kingdom military recently changed their policies to take in Commonwealth citizens, which include Canadians. So I enlist and serve Her Majesty. I think he's trying to figure out if he should join the British or UK.
The Brits or the Canadian?
Yeah, the Royal Army or whatever.
Yeah, my honest opinion, Canada has a military. When did that happen? What? No, I'm deadly serious. Now, I know our Canadian brothers up there have fought, and they got great sniper teams. But I looked into it one time, not to join the Canadian military, but I think they have 17 frigates as a navy. I mean, their army is probably rough and tumble. I don't know what the Marines are like. I don't even know if they have Marines. I don't know if the Canadian Army parallels exactly the U.S. Army. And the Canadian Air Force, you know what the Canadian Air Force consists of?
What's that?
The U.S. Air Force flying over their airspace, making sure the Russians didn't attack. There really is, I mean, you want a real military force to join, go with the Brits.
Have you seen the South Park movie? Came out like 20 years ago or something.
Oh, where it's like blame Canada?
Yeah, something? And so that's the only time I can think of the U.S. and Canada actually going to war with each other. I can't. Has that ever happened before?
It did. Canada is the only one of the few countries. It's either the only or one of the few to actually defeat the United States. Because really? Yes, and I don't know if it was the War of 1812 or the Revolutionary War. Somebody would know. Probably somebody in the chat room already does know. But we tried to invade Canada at one time because it was part of the United Kingdom back in the day, and they beat us, and we lost. So I'd have to brush up on our history, but it's a little tidbit of history most people didn't know. Another tidbit, Atham told this, another interesting thing. Mexico has never started a war. They've never invaded a country.
Really?
With their army, with their deadbeats and their criminals and their single moms, yeah, but not with their army. No, not with their army. which is kind of interesting also to know. Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely join the UK military over the Canadian. Going to be more opportunity. Dude, fucking Trudeau, and this is the son of the other Trudeau. And you rely on the U.S. to defend. Really, the Canadians rely on the United States to defend them. That's it. Oh, we got free healthcare. Well, you got a free military too, but you don't pay for it. I would go to the United Kingdom. More special ops, more of a budget, more deployments. I just, again, not besmirching the Canadians. They helped us out. They got, I think, the best snipers are Canadian. They hold the records and all that. But yeah, I'd be going UK.
And so do you think that they probably have better benefits as well over there?
I don't know. He'd have to research it. I know the U.S. is top dog. We pay our soldiers very well, as we should. Canada, I don't know. I know Australia, they get gypped. They and there's no, I guess there's no pride in serving. Like if you walk into a bar in the United States in a uniform, chances are you're not paying for your drinks. Australia, it's not like that. In the United Kingdom, I think maybe the benefits are a little bit better, but he's going to have to look into it.
Okay. As a generous donation, I hope that helps. Like I can't say I know anything about either one. So yeah. All righty. Who's next here? For $9.99, Nonstop Dre 360. Explain why I can't just go straight to university, take my computer science classes without taking GE classes since I have the GI Bill. I'm a 22-year-old, 128 IQ, U.S. Marine Corps vet, currently going to college. Do I need to read that again? It was
no. I mean, why? Yeah. Here's the reason why. This isn't conspiracy. This isn't me slamming on the teachers. The education industry, you have to look at it as like big oil is conspiring. Okay, view it in the lens of those eyes. They're conspiring, except it's actually happening. Okay, they're not selling a commodity like oil. It's oil companies go out there, drill there, bring it back upstream, downstream, refine it, deliver it. Okay, that's it. But with big education, they are trying to extract as much money out of you as possible. And not only can they do that then by making you attend 2 years unnecessarily, getting prereqs out of the way, they can employ thousands, hundreds of thousands of their own as TAs, as adjunct professors and faculty, teaching these worthless degrees. If you want to see what's happened within my lifetime, let's go back to the 90s. You could not get a degree in diversity and inclusion, right? You just couldn't, because it's such a bullshit degree. I don't even think you could get a degree in environmental studies, or if you did, it was very unique and obscure degree. Now every university is offering, things in diversity and inclusion. Why? Well, because there's demand on one side. You have a bunch of lazy, no good fucks who don't want to actually study something hard. We also propagandize young kids starting in kindergarten that somehow their race or their gender has value when it doesn't. It's what you do. But they have this belief. Now they come to the university. They definitely don't want to study anything hard. They like to believe that there's value in their skin color or their plumbing downstairs. And wow, look, here's a convenient degree. Sign away your life here for $250,000 in student loans. And then you sign away your money, your life. You go and you borrow on the dotted line. You take out a mortgage on your education. You give that money to big education. They pay dipshit Joe. There was this guy. He had a degree. He had a master's degree in outdoors and recreation. This guy, he was part of the CR Club in the Twin Cities. I remember him. He had a master's degree in outdoor recreation. And that guy, what does he do? So they pay that dipshit $18 an hour to go teach a class, which he can't live on because he's only teaching one class per week. And so they get dirt cheap employment. They enlist and employ these losers. They take your money. They pay admin. They pay diversity reserve assistant, vice assistant, reserve break glass, in case of emergency reserve, diversity director, assistant to the secretary, diversity reserve assistant, vice president. And they just take your money, once you view it as a money-making operation, they could keep you there for 2 extra years longer. Then you understand why you're there. And then let's not even talk about the fees and this fee and that fee. You're probably paying $1,000 a fee a quarter or a semester or whatever. It is a money-making operation. So, I mean, if you're looking at computer science, I'd be looking online like Western Governors, someplace online that's cheap and accredited, which I think is the future. But they kind of get you in and out as quickly as they can. But that if you're going to a traditional brick and mortar 4-year institution, that's what they're doing. They are taking your money.
So is computer science one of those where it truly does not matter what school you go to in terms of name or prestige?
No, you got to go. Look, if you're going to go to school, I just had this poor, not terribly similar, but the guy was a vet, and he went to DeVry. No, Argosy. He went to Argosy. And I'm like, what in God's name made you think that was a good idea? Like, didn't the hair in the back of your neck go up? Like, anytime they're advertising in between The Price is Right and the soap operas, don't you know that's probably a bad school to go to? You think like maybe I shouldn't go to Phoenix. Maybe I shouldn't go to Capella. And some of these now are actually accredited. But even then, I'm like, whoa, you got to do your research. Because some of them have that tarnish, like, oh, you went to a school that advertised during daytime television. No. Go accredited. Go to your local state college. Start in the community college. Go to a cheap 4-year institution campus. You don't have to go to the party campus or the big campus. It's a perfectly fine degree. Just make sure you don't go to some no-name fucking unaccredited piece of shit fly-by-night school. That's it.
And is the University of Phoenix online accredited?
I think it is now, but I still wouldn't. It's so scummy.
Yeah.
And I worked at one of these schools. This is before they had the big accreditation push. I worked at 2 of them. One is bankrupt now. It's like it says Brown College. They had like the Le Cordon Bleu School of Culinary Arts under they're just ass raping school.
Yeah.
Just because then they all of a sudden had to rush and get a bunch of people with their master's degrees in, because otherwise they would lose their accreditation. But that was just at the state. This wasn't even nationally accredited. So when you got these scumbags, again, 2 things, guys, 2 things. Older brother wisdom right here. If the school is in a shitty 1970s building that's brown, or it's in a strip mall, or if it's in an office building, you don't attend that fucking school. And if they advertise on daytime television, you don't attend that fucking school, right? For once, I'll grant the public sector something, and that is if you go to a state school, at least it's accredited, right? There it's legit. But these fly-by-night for-profit schools, you really got to be careful. Really got to be careful.
All right. So anything else with that? Are we good?
Yes, everybody should attend the Carlson School of Management. You just have to get your MBA there. Everyone should go there.
We're going to shut it down.
Now they just get more Minnesota taxpayers to bail it out. That's all it would be.
And you're not going to be one of them anymore fairly soon.
I will not. No. I'm going to be like Thanos sitting on my place just looking at the sunset.
Okay. For $2, Carlos Miranda. Chad, go with a goatee to look like badass accountant. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't know. Shave it off and see what happens.
Do you ever do a goatee?
Once in a while. Honestly, it's because I'm lazy and I don't shave, and it just happens to look good. I trim underneath here in the shower. The GF likes the Aaron Rodgers look. That's why I used to trim it down here. I used to just have the line and so it was kind of goatee-ish. But then she's like, I'm like, really? She's like, I'm like, okay, less shaving for me. So I just like, you look like Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, yeah, with none of the money.
All righty. For $2, High Alpha said, well, before I read this, I need to tell you something. This guy's name is High Testosterone in the chat, and he's basically one big troll. Like nobody likes him, so I blocked him.
Did he pay?
He just did today, but hold on, let me give you some background. That he's been doing this for weeks. When we come on here, he's just a troll. So I blocked him. Then he created another account.
They do that, yeah.
And then I blocked him again. And now this is his third account, but he actually paid this time. So it's like, dude, if you want to do this and pay us, like, you go right ahead.
Okay. How can you block him? Did I give you permissions or something?
No. It's like in the chat, you can go in there and say block. Anybody can do this. Like, he can sign in, but he can't. And he's only blocked to me. Like, everybody else can see him.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see him.
Okay. Yeah,
that's why I'm saying the Atham in the private chat. I'm like, all right, what's he saying now? But but yeah, for $2, he said, I sold some old stock at a loss, brah, without an audit. He's responding to something I said a while back, which says it attracts the IRS auditors if you have stock which doesn't have a basis that gets reported, but you claim a huge loss for it. That is a big audit. Do you know what I'm talking about with that?
Yeah. Like you had some kind of, for whatever, loss of records. You don't know what was originally paid for it. You inherited it, perhaps.
Yeah.
You don't know what the cost basis is. Yeah, but oh God, I got a loss. Yeah, I could see a baseless loss. Yeah, I could see where that would raise some flags.
And so I said that a while back on one of these. I'm like, you're going to have to justify it if you just out of thin air create a low base or a high basis and then low returns, then you get a huge loss. And he's like, well, I did that and didn't get audited. So
good.
Yeah, thanks for the $2, man. Keep it coming.
No. Keep going. That's it. Good.
That's it. Let's do what you wanted to do.
Oh God, I got two stuff. I have to go through this. Hang on. Oh, there's Anderson Cooper. Let's get rid of that.
What?
I'm on CNN. That's why. Did you go to your prom?
Prom?
Yeah.
We did. I was in East Africa. We didn't really, like, we had one, but it wasn't like a real prom.
Okay, so. Now everyone's got to do this. Type in, go into the Google search engine, because someone sent this to me. I didn't read it, and I was like, okay, I'll cover this on, do it natural. But everyone's got to go to this article. Go to money. I'm sorry, just search CNN prom spending poor $600.
All right.
So go there. Go to the CNN. Look, I'll wait for you there, Chad. I'll wait for everybody else, and just look at what pops up.
Let me see. I'm on CNN.
Can't wait to see your response.
Okay. Prom.
It's the title, something like poor people spend $600 more per thing on prom and it's CNN. Click on the CNN one.
Oh, I'm there.
What do you see?
Wow, is this true?
It's true, but are you seeing what I'm seeing? What's the picture in front of you?
I don't have one coming up here. Well, I just see the actual article.
Click on the article.
No, I did, and it's not here. Give me another minute with this.
Okay. Anybody else in the chat see what I see? Hang on, let me check the chat.
Like, they have one that says a 97-year-old woman finally goes to her first prom.
Oh, hang on. All right, let me put this in the. Let me see if I can't put this in the chat. I'm going to put it in our chat room.
Okay.
All right. Click on that link I just sent.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, that's a terrible picture. That's horrible.
That blob that tatted up thing is going to prom. Her fat folds are going over her bra.
Yeah, that's a high schooler? That can't be a high schooler. That's disgusting. Tell me that's a troll. High testosterone. Did you do that? Like, tell me you did that.
No, this is so I was gonna go on a tirade about prom is stupid and other things you shouldn't spend your money on, like graduation. But it's like this monster that won't stop rearing its ugly head. I mean, this fat, disgusting slob is a high schooler.
Well, I'm reading the actual article now.
Yeah, I mean, so let's go through the article here. Poor families plan to spend more than 5% of their income on prom this year, according to a new survey. Families with a household income of less than $25,000 plan to spend. That's poor. Household income less than 25, you're poor. Okay, plan to spend $1,400 for the prom, according to Visa's annual nationwide survey on high school's most storied night. That's compared to those making more than $50,000 who plan to spend an average of $800. Spending for the evening includes cost of tickets, clothes, limousine rentals, flowers, photographs, food accommodations, and of course, an after party. Overall, the average planned spending of the more than 3,000 people surveyed was $919. This means those who fall around blah, 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 poverty line. And then it's a short article, but that's That's the main thing. Now, you didn't go to prom, did you?
Not a real one.
Did you go to your graduation at all?
You talking high school or college?
College or high school, because you're in Kenya, I guess, in high school.
Yeah, yeah. We were on our way out of there, but yeah, we did. I went to my graduation or whatever.
All right. I want to save everybody here about $2,000 and poor people a little bit more here. You want to talk about things that are totally not worth it. It's your prom and both of your graduations, your high school and especially your college graduations. I found when I graduated from by the way, Chad, did I tell you I went to the Carlson School of Management?
Oh yeah, I've been obsessed about it ever since.
But you're probably jealous, and I understand because you just went to.
Still pissed you didn't take me by there when I was, in town.
If you want, we could go look at all the East Indians being duped and having themselves thrown into poverty even more than when they came.
Forget Sebastian Joe's. I want to see Carlson.
Go to the Carlson School of Management. I think it was like $600 for your cap and your gown, and there was like another $200 if you wanted to walk and be in the. It was just shy of $1,000. And all that is, guys, is big education. Again, to our previous Marine veteran, it's just like, can we ding them for an extra grand? Now, it's not $1,000 anymore. I think it's around $1,500. I'm sure it depends on the school. But that's just, and then you got to sit there. It's hot. You're in this stupid robe. It means absolutely nothing unless you have a real degree. You have a commencement speaker who's going to yell at you about socialism and communism and how white people or people with penises suck. They're going to talk about politics. They're not going to talk about it. They're going to give you a flowery bullshit speech about the future. Dude, you're going to college like you're going to high school to get there and get the fuck out, because it's this hurdle you need to go and get some kind of employment down the road. God bless if you can avoid it, right? So I want to go to your high school graduation. You're stuck in a hot gym. Everybody walks across. It's the last hooray and the last hurrah. You got to pay, and then there's graduation party. So my school forced me, like they wouldn't let me not. My parents were like, what do you mean you don't want to walk? I'm like, this school is a bunch of fucking hicks. And a third of the women are already pregnant. Fuck this place.
I got a story for you, man.
Yeah. What is
it? For grad school, what was this, 2011? I wanted it, you're right. It costs like, a few $100s for that stupid cap and gown. And you had to like rent it. You had to rent it.
You had to return it?
Yeah. And so I said to my parents, like, I wanted to skip this. And one of my good buddies who lived right below me at the time, he was all rubbing it into me because he's like, I don't have to go to this shit. But my parents wanted to go. And man, I didn't pay? I had to pay for it. Like
Didn't you negotiate with Mr. and Mrs. Zuck and say, I don't want to go. You want me to go? You got to pay. And did you charge for your time? You charge an hourly fee?
I did not. Remember, I hadn't discovered you yet in 2011.
I had asshole consulting, get a couple dollars out of the old Benjamins, out of the old man there.
I did not know anything about how to be an asshole. Were you active with videos in 2011? Just out of curiosity.
I was, yeah. That's right. That's when I started. That's pretty much when I started doing it. But we didn't have the format of asshole consulting, kind of like, dear Abby, hey, bibbity boppity boppity boo, give me your fucking money. Yeah, the answer is 42. Go away now.
But yeah, I'm not blaming them. They wanted to see their youngest kid get a master's and all that and go to graduation. But it is a racket. It's a ripoff. It's a money-making thing.
Now, if Mr. Elkins is still listening, I think it would be only fair that he sends you a nice little check in the mail.
You hear that? Didn't come from me.
Just saying, it's a waste. And here's the other thing: the correlation between this and prom, especially if they're poor. Mr. Elkins, why do you think poor people spend that significantly more, almost double, significantly more on prom than people that came? 50,000 for a household is actually median. That's pretty average. Why would they spend twice as much?
So I'm having a real hard time coming up with an answer for that. Honestly, I can't think of any logical reason that they would do that.
Because that's it. Their lives are over.
Oh, you're saying they peak like at high school?
You peak at high school. I saw this in the hick parts of Wisconsin where, now keep in mind, this is coming up 30 years ago. There still was a delineation. There still was like, not everybody went to college. You still had to be upper half roughly to go to college. It wasn't 60 years ago where it's like, yeah, the top 5% go to college and everybody else gets a real job. It was still like, not everybody was going to go to college. And so, and typically there's a correlation, though not always, there's a correlation with being poor. You probably weren't the best student either. And what you definitely saw it in Wisconsin. I don't know what it was like in Kenya, but especially with wrestling and football, like if you went to state as a wrestler, my God, that was everything. And they would still talk about, I remember my old man and older men, you know, his age, in between our age, oh, he made state. And this is coming out of the mouth of a 40-year-old. Like, so what guy, I mean, the true Al Bundy thing where I threw for 4 touchdowns in 1974 at Johnson High. Da, 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 da. And like, yeah, what you been doing since? And so, and what I'm thinking a lot of this is this is it. Because they know they're not going to go to college. They have such bad grades. They know they don't have a work ethic. That this is it. This is your peak. This is your, and you could say a college graduation is also perhaps a peak. We're like, well, we've done it. Now I get it. Speeches, valedictorian.
I had thought maybe it was just because they had zero concept of money management. Isn't that how people become poor?
It could be that's true too. Now, a buddy of mine from Atlanta, who happens to be of the black persuasion, guess what? The brothers will rent. And I looked it up. There's 4 places. I'm like, no, it's just got to be one crazy Eddie. He rents these things. There are 4 places in Atlanta, last I checked, that rent this. Now, guess what you can rent? I'll give you a hint. The brothers. Only the brothers. And I'm slamming on the brothers on this one. Only you guys are too dumb to do this. White people got their own stupid stuff. But this is the epitomal dumb brother expenditure.
Wow, this is going to be hard for me to guess.
Yes, it is. But
is it unique to Atlanta?
No, it is universal across the United States.
Yeah.
It is predominantly within black culture, but I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a clue.
Yeah.
I saw a 1989 Chevy Caprice Classic at the golf course I just golfed at. And I tried to hunt down the guy because that's the car I drove in college. That's my donk. I want that car. And I'm going to do something to that car that will make it a true donk. Okay? So it's not relegated to black culture. It's originated from, it's predominantly hailed in. But, you know, anybody can do this. But I'll give you a hint there. It's related to cars, specifically donks.
And you do this like on a rental basis, or is it like a permanent?
Oh, very good. No, you're not supposed to do it on a rental basis. This is something that you should buy, but they're renting these now.
Dude, I'm drawing a blank. Like, I just don't know enough about cars. If it's something that should be permanent that you rent, does it have anything to do with the tires?
Yes.
Hubcaps?
Yes, you can rent rims.
Why would anybody do that?
Because rims, that's status. It's like grills or whatever the name clothing is, brand name clothing. There is a market out there. There's enough people that 4 companies in Atlanta alone exist that you can rent rims on your car. So you bring your car in, they'll take your shitty rims off, they'll put on fancy rims. You go on a date with whoever. It could even be for prom. Or you're cruising with your buddies, and then you come back and they take them off. Renting fucking rims.
I have no possible concept of why anybody would do that. I simply just, I don't get it.
Why would you spend $1,500 at prom? Why would you buy a limo or rent a limo? See what I'm saying?
I do.
That's just that culture. I would look at like, why are you renting a stretched SUV limo? I mean, I guess that's the white answer to blacks renting rims in Atlanta is you get an SUV limo for only 5 or 6 people.
Well, see, I'm actually slightly more understanding of that. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Prom, you go a little bit all out, you dress up, but rims?
All right.
Who's going to look at the rims?
The point I brought that up is because you were saying, all right, is there a lack of education about financial discipline? Like they just don't know. And there could be that too. It's like, look, did you do a cost benefit analysis of owning the rims versus buying the rims? Did you add up how much time post-tax, after-tax net income you make, how many hours you got to work to rent those damn rims to make it look like you're richer than you actually are? And so I think there is also, that explains part of it, why poor people would spend nearly twice as much as middle-income people would on prom.
This is just going way over my head in terms of experience. It's like what Mary Jo just said in the chat. Chad's face, because he never lived in the hood. Like, I mean,
he only lived in Africa. He lived in the original hood.
Nobody had money for things. I don't even think you can do that over there.
No, but my point is, okay, whether it's renting rims in Atlanta as a 17-year-old boy trying to get laid, or you happen to be a poor person and you think that this is it, this is all you got because your parents are shit, you think you're shit, and no one's ever challenged you, including yourself, that you're going to go all out and you're going to piss away this money. That's dumb. It's dumb. And what you're doing is you're pissing away a ton of money on an experience that simply is not worth it. I would also say controlled and contrived because it's established and set by the school. Same thing with graduation. You have this graduation and you have to go through the ceremony and they're going to ding you. They're going to ding you. They're going to ding. What, you think? Used to work landscaping, but we'd be pulled off landscaping. Like don't do retaining. And 3 times. No, 4. I take it back. There's 4 holidays we'd be pulled off to deliver for not Easter, because all the churches wanted lilies, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, and guess when else we were pulled off the line to help with the girls with the flower in the flower shop?
Prom.
Because they gotta get the corsages. They gotta get the corsage. Oh my God! And you think the florist didn't jack up the price for bouquets and corsages?
You know, when I was visiting you, we made that video. And what was it again? If it flies, fucks,
floats,
or
flies,
floats,
or fucks. Yeah.
That's when you rent it. So they're trying to add all these other like things to include in that category.
No, corsage is standard. You always got the girl a corsage. And I think the guy got a little flower or something up there. They put on his lapel. I don't know. It's been ages.
And they hike up all the prices for these?
You damn right. The tuxedo rental. Okay, let me help out everybody again. Older brother wisdom. I have a tuxedo. Do you know what I paid for that tuxedo?
Rental or own?
Own. I own a tuxedo. I've owned a tuxedo since I was 19. I still fit into it because I'm fucking awesome. Do you know what I paid for it that many years ago?
Couple hundred maybe.
$100. Paid $100 for it.
Cool.
That is one of the wisest investments I've ever made. For $100, you go down to the used tuxedo store, like Bachman's or whoever your local tuxedo rental place is. You go after prom, and they're going to get rid of some. You want your standard tuxedo, not this poofy, flowery bullshit that was happening in the 70s. You don't want the triple button up here looking like some 90s hood. All right, you want your standard Cary Grant, James Bond looking tuxedo. $100 used. And you will have more formal events that you can attend under $100 a night with that tuxedo than you would blowing $1,400 on prom, where you have to go to a school, you have to deal with some after party, you may or may not get laid. Bullshit. Save your money, go buy a tuxedo after prom is all done and over. And then when you're older, then go to the symphony. You save it for a special girl and a special date. That's what I'd be doing. But I would not be attending prom. I would not be going to a graduation. I would certainly not go to your college graduation. And I'm kind of surprised this prom is even going on right now because nobody dates in high school anymore. But I was just, if poor people are duped into this, their dollars cost more. And if you want to get out of poverty, you can't be pissing it away on something as stupid as prom.
Yeah, that's going to be tough for 17 and 18-year-olds to understand. Say you're their parent, you're like, we're not doing this, and they'll just pitch a fit, I would imagine.
Too bad. People need to pitch more. But you think these parents are, look, if you got kids and your household income is 25 grand or less, you're a fuck up. You're a bad parent because you had kids you couldn't afford. So I'm not thinking financial discipline and planning is exactly rife within the parenting ranks of these poor kids.
And that was my original theory as to why the article was saying that. But
I'm sure there's more, status, everybody's going, peer pressure, whatever. When I looked at that, I'm like, well, not only is prom a waste for everybody, but if you're if you're poor and you don't have that's just going to really hurt you even more. It's like signing up for student loans for a worthless degree when you're poor. That's just going to cripple you 3 times as much as a median income person.
That's the government's fault, but don't get me started on
No, it's the government merely showed them a table of heroin. And these people, the government didn't stick needles into their arms. These people, okay, I'll stand on the dotted line. Oh my God, I need a bailout.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
I am going to shame Marty and Beckloff. Those guys are starting to get on the, we should get bailed out. Come on, it's good for the economy kind of. And I'm too tired to turn my guns on them.
Be sure and mention the J word when you're in there.
J word? What, Jew?
Well, you know how they
guys, I see. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I never mind. Sorry, I was thinking J store. Like, what should I? Nah.
Dude, we got a real backlog here. Can we get back to the?
All right, let's go through them real quick here. Hang on. Let me text the GF. Make sure she just doesn't waltz in.
I'll get this one out of the way. It's more for me.
The day, okay, bang it up. But the day's coming, man. I'm gonna have my own place, like my own little run off to do this, and then.
You don't think this is fun? I think it's fun.
It's fun. It beats working in banking, but there's times where it's like, are you gonna podcast again? It's like, no, bitch. The money just falls out of the sky. Are you with the fall out of the sky crowd? Do you think the money falls? Do you too believe the money falls out of this sky? And I just haven't, you know. No, I understand.
Just say I'm doing it with Chad again. She'll be like, "Oh, okay, I will leave you be."
Dude, she adores you. Only have to. I get like a Chad card. If I had to say, well, Chad's in it. Oh, okay, fine. You can do whatever. Hang on.
All right. Well, let me just do this one real fast.
Do that one.
All right. High alpha, meaning high testosterone, meaning whatever his new name is now, for $2 said cost basis was estimated from 90s, not quote thin air. That's a fair point. My earlier thing with that was that you have to be careful with it and have some backup, because if they will call people out on that, and they're going to say, show us how you calculated that basis. That was all I was saying, was that you have to have some kind of backup for it if you get audited, because I've seen that happen to traders. So just keep that in there.
Cool.
And yeah, so you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's bang them out, because then we got Asshole Consulting to do, because I got two that are perfect for you.
Okay. Ray John has gone nuts today. He's given us some serious cash. So I'll do the first one, then I'll do the second one.
That gave us all the gay questions.
Yeah, but he's really
okay. Well, no, thanks. Okay, no.
And he's really being cool today. He said, for Canadian $5, and wait till you hear the next one he gave us. For Canadian $5, he says, hey, Cappy, I was on a MGTOW forum board and saw a lot of women hating. I clicked on the health and nutrition panel, and I still saw more woman hating. So he's basically saying that the MGTOWs are a little bit toxic with women. And you made a video once on this a couple of years ago, I remember.
Right. What was it? Something abusing the word MGTOW. MGTOW, it's been, the word or the phrase has been co-opted just like feminism has. Again, a long time ago, feminism might have had some noble meaning to it. Now it's been co-opted by true man-haters, true misandrists. And so MGTOW and feminism are almost two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, I remember you basically making a whole video going like, look, I like women. You know, I like women. So.
Well, I don't also hate people. Okay, I do hate people.
You don't?
Somebody's introduced to me, I don't immediately hate them. I usually let them open their mouth, and then I hate them for good reason. But, you know, just because you're a woman, I'm not going to assume a bunch of things. Now, if you look like the chick in the article with her tatted up thing, I'm like, yeah, I can start assuming some things now.
Yeah.
And if that thing got hit by a truck, I'd be like, don't think she was going to cure cancer anytime soon. So there's your old piss and vinegar Aaron Clary coming through. But no, I don't hate women. I don't. I hate thoughts. I hate beliefs. I hate, or a lack of beliefs, a lack of thinking. I hate parasites. I hate parasitism. I hate socialists, because it's thoughts and what they stand for. And MGTOWs, I think in the past either have been spurned or ignored or rejected, or they're just cowardly and never approached women and never gave women a shot. Because, okay, let me ask you this, Chad. Has every girl you ever dated been a royal bitch, or have there been some nice ones in there?
I gotta say there's been a few nice ones sprinkled in there.
Yeah, and we know nice women that we haven't dated. You know, we all have female friends, and we could even say maybe Mary Jo is about that much tolerable. But
So most of my clients, believe it or not, are women. That's a higher percentage.
Okay. So, I mean, so you can't tell me that I got to take these blanket assumptions and rules about women that just aren't true, that don't jive in the real world. And I think it's also principally unfair and unjust to just assume and be a true bigot, because that's what bigotry is. So this doesn't mean there aren't legitimate concerns as a group that women have that should give you concern, like false rape accusations, Me Too, feminism, and all that. There's true misandry on that part, but you can't blend. You have to judge each person individually. And don't worry, their true colors will show. It won't take long for it to happen. So you got to be a fair judge of character along each way. But what I really prefer is to use the old phrase "gone ghost." I think that's a better phrase, because that's what real MGTOWs do. They don't beat the drums like feminists. If you're a feminist and you hate men, why are you so obsessed about what men do? You'd be, again, a fat, large woman eating ho-hos, enjoying her life, going fishing or whatever, crocheting or hiking, or doing whatever. You wouldn't be bothered with it. But when you're going on the internet and these guys are there at 2 p.m. in the afternoon slamming on women, well, they haven't really gone MGTOW. MGTOWs, inevitably real ones, they go. And you'd probably never hear from them again, because one of the benefits of not having to deal with the opposite sex is the freedom and the peace and serenity that comes with it. If you think about that, what if you truly gave up on women, like you just didn't care anymore? Well, you'd be kind of, oh, okay, raindrops keep falling on my head. You go for a walk, you enjoy. About the only guy I could see actually doing that is Bernard Chapin, and his cohorts that are along with him, because he approaches it more from a philosophical standpoint, and he doesn't ask girls out, and he'll maybe point out some zany, crazy stuff. But I would say the real men who have gone MGTOW are ghosts. You wouldn't hear. They don't have YouTube channels. They don't have. They've gone ghost. They're fishing. They're hiking. They're hunting. They're reading. And you know what? By God, they might even be fucking some women too. But they're not going to beat the drum about their, show their chevron, MGTOW with the gold cluster leaves level 46. They're not going to be doing that.
So do you think the people that go on YouTube and kind of preach this stuff, like Sandman and some others, are they doing this because they haven't found anything to fill that void, or are they doing it because they feel like it's their duty to spread the word about it?
It depends. I would say there's more of a duty there, like Sandman or the Red Man Group, because let's be very clear, what's the number one thing in terms of resources and economics that men spend their time on? And money. What do men spend the majority of their life on?
I mean, you're talking about women, right?
Women, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the number one economic choice men have to face. And it's the only other thing that trumps that is death. What happens in the afterlife, of which you already have established religions addressing. But men typically won't approach that until they're approaching death, or they have a family and they got to think, okay, I got this screwed. Oh God, what happens in the future? Now I got to, but in the meantime, the number one thing that's on the forefront of every man at puberty and on is women. And so I think, especially given the not bad job baby boomers baby boomers fathers did, but the absolute lack of a job baby boomers fathers did. These men have stepped into that void to provide these men, because these men are looking for answers. It's the number one thing in their life. This is the number one thing they spend their time, money, resources, and energy on. And so these guys, be it the Red Man Group, Older Brother, Asshole Consulting, Sandman, Turk Flinging Monkey, Roosh, although he's gone through a recent epiphany that I found.
Oh yeah, he did. We won't get into
incredibly interesting.
Wow.
I'm like, Roosh,
Wow.
hold up. I'm just trying to read your last book here. Hang on. It's I think truly older brother, fatherly type of figures guiding young men and any young women that want to listen, saying, hold it, we went down this path and just got our asses handed to us. Let us tell you a couple lessons we've learned. So I don't think they're the woman-hating MGTOW. Usually they have something else going on in their life. Sandman does have a career. I don't know. All the guys in the Red Pill group do that more as a hobby. Yeah. But I don't think there's a more important issue to answer to young men today than how to interact and ultimately succeed with women. And it's such a wild west and open. I say there's more gold to mine in these veins than there are miners right now. This is, if you have experience, if you've walked down the path, if you've been through what Terrence Popp has been through, you can make damn good money giving your worldly experience and advice to young men that have none of that.
If there's one thing I wish we could have happen is you separate the ones who do have a life experience with women, maybe they got divorced or something, from the ones that are, let's be honest, like probably involuntary celibates that are saying that you need to go MGTOW. And I'm trying to bash anybody, but there should be
there should be like, well, okay, what was your experience? I think it was Rollo put it best that most of the people that reach out to him have gone through some kind of genuine trauma, and it was involved with a woman. My trauma was part poverty, part career, part woman, but walking down this path, I don't know the guy personally. This isn't to slam on it because I don't listen to him, but I'm not going to listen to a Nick Fuentes.
Oh yeah.
His pubes, his Amazon just delivered his pubes 2 weeks ago, and now he's spouting, and he's good. You know, he's like a young Ben Shapiro. He could speak well, but I'm not taking advice from a 19-year-old kid, you know. No, but hey, go make the money while you can. Every generation needs its voice. It's kind of, and turd flinging monkey is another example. Like, I don't know who you are. Like, I kind of want to. Molyneux, I know his face, I know his background, and I understand people got careers. I got that, but it's very easy for the posers to come in and simply parrot what they heard some other guy say, but perhaps better because they're a better writer, if that makes any sense. But you do need to go through, you need to walk the path. That's basically, you need to be the Ed Lattimore. You need to be the Terrence Popp. You need to be, the Rich Cooper. You have to go through, Molyneux's life. My God, that poor guy. I'll listen to him. I will listen to him. But Mr. Dopey Kid from the Wayzata or the Winnetka or the Upper East Side. And, hey, did you know there's these things called Democrats and they're taking our money and our women? Like, wow, yeah, hey, here's a small little mascara brush you could comb your pubes with. Now go away, kid.
Listen, man, we got a huge backlog.
I'm sorry.
So there's a couple in between this, but Rajon, so he's been giving us a lot so far. He gave us 50 Canadian dollars.
What? Well, thanks, Ray. I'm kind of curious. He should email us and answer us why. We won't deal with it now, but I'm kind of curious why he's been so charitable. But thank you.
Yeah, seriously. And he didn't have a question with that one. He just gave it to us. So, dude, you've been super generous today. I know we were laughing about some of the ones you'd given us before, but
he paid. I'm not gonna laugh. He paid. Guys, I don't want any of you losing your life savings, but also throw a couple bucks at the Patreon, because you'll get some pictures of Mary Jo and an article I wrote nobody likes, but that's all right.
So thanks, Rajon, sincerely. Okay, so these are quick. For $2, All Pro Lemonson asks, Aaron, is Roosh V a troll? He looks like a creep. I've never actually met him.
No.
Yeah, have you ever done a stream with him before?
No, been too busy, and he's always traveling. If anyone doubts Roosh's veracity or legitimacy, go read A Dead Bat in Paraguay. That he's legit. He's legit. Now, he's taken a different path, and I'm not defending Roosh's latest decisions and all that, but he's taken a different path in life, so he's going to have different thought processes and derive different conclusions. But no, he's not a troll. He's 100% legit. I'd like to personally, like, okay, dude, what the hell now? What's with this no chick thing? I mean, did you discover Jesus? Did you find God? I mean, is this, I have other, like, is he pulling off his own Operation Evil maybe?
No, he actually, did you know he took out of all of his Bang books are no longer available. They're gone.
Really? Okay. So I mean, you could say it's very elaborate then, maybe, perhaps. I don't know. This is why I got to talk to him, but I'm very curious. Hopefully he'll write a book about it and I can read it, but no, I'd love to have him on.
I hope you will someday if you're able to.
No, when all this is fucking done and my house is built, and then maybe, yes. But we'll see. We'll see. So, all right, next one.
Okay, so last thing about Roosh, he's doing a U.S. tour and he's coming through Chicago in late July. So I bought a ticket to see him.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah. Okay, so BFCZA Nap gave us a pair of 99-cent super chats, and he doesn't have any message.
Cool. Thank you very much. We'll take that.
Thanks a lot. Now, Nick Schulaner has joined the fray.
Ah, good old Nick. There he is.
And for $1.99, he asks you, how do I join the Fitbit challenge? And I want to know this too, because I might get a Fitbit. So
you get a Fitbit. All right.
How do you join the group?
You gotta. It's not easy. It's weird. They didn't make it easy. So you'll log in with a username and password, and then I think you can sync it with your Facebook account, or you can through the Fitbit app search us. So I'm Aaron Clary. You can find me. Bacon's there. I think you just search the Bacon. But you'll set up a username profile, and then you're searchable, and then you just connect like that. The challenge, though, is usually put out by Marcus Brown every week, and you got like a window of opportunity to join. But I don't put any challenges out there because I've just been too busy. So, but you keep track against your friends. Like you can see how many steps. I mean, like right now, let me see. Usually I'm being beaten by
Space Marcus.
Space Marcus, but then there's another guy. Who's his name? He's always ahead. Oh yeah, Mike. Mike's always up ahead. Oh wait, where's Marcus?
He quit.
Oh, Marcus is way down. Yeah, he must be sick or something. He's way down there. Yeah, I'm number 2, but I'm at 75,000. My buddy Shelly, she's at 66, but then Mike's at 106. He's been dominating my little group the entire time.
Quick story about Marcus. It was Friday night, I think. For the hell of it, I stayed up until 4 a.m. And Marcus was actually at work, so we had some mini correspondence like at 4:15 a.m. Some back and forth. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Cool. All right, okay. Next super chat.
All right, the next one. So we did those. Now this next one, man, you're really gonna have to think about this, okay? So don't rush through this one.
All right.
I Snows, or maybe it's L Snows, for $2 asks, Cappy, how do I get the girls?
Well, this is a very tough question. It would take hours, but what you need to do is first agree with them always. Especially if they're Democrats and feminists. You love Hillary Clinton. You think her decision to be a quadral hypo disgusto sexual is a great idea. You absolutely agree with every decision she's ever made to not only put tattoos on her body, but to have them removed. You agree that beauty's on the inside, unless it's not, because they said so. Your job is to merely agree with them 24/7. And that is how you get the girls.
That's what gets them wet, I hear. Just
dude, agreement and supplication always gets the women. Absolutely.
All right. Well, slightly unrelated. Nick Schulaner for another $1.99. This is a great question. Roughly what percentage of people peak in high school? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Would you say half or less than half?
No. Well, see, it's going to be generational. I'd almost say, well, what's peak? If you'd say peak in high school and college, I'd say 80% of the people peak in high school and college.
Well, I think it's more like, the really popular people, the ones that played high school football, the prom king and queen, the stuff that you thought, like the stuff that mattered back then.
Yeah.
Do they become losers later in life?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Not necessarily bad people, but that's an artificial environment. They excel in this artificial environment with different rules, different principles, and different rewards. And that is not the real world. And then they get on the real world, and I've seen it where a guy busts his ass off to be a great athlete. Whatever those skills and discipline are, he can't transfer them into the real world to program or be an engineer or whatever. I'd say the percentage of people that peak in high school was probably a lot higher back in the olden days, but today I'd say 25%. But the percentage of people that peak in either high school or college and not their adult life, damn well near 80%. The majority of people, it is downhill after college. Like once you enter the real world, it's over for you. That's the vast majority of people.
Wow, that's a little depressing. Okay.
Sorry, I was going to say, have you seen people today?
Yeah, and I have to say,
people are depressing. Yes,
Facebook makes it very easy to see how your classmates kind of
yeah,
aged and let themselves go and things like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You met, fun quick story. I graduated with 40 people. One of them lives in Minneapolis, and I got to meet and hang out with him when I visit a Cappy here. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny to me that somebody from my teens is meeting you. But anyway,
Yeah.
Okay. So for $2, Rainy Woe X. You remember this one? She sent us pictures of her so we could determine. It was a while ago. It was maybe a couple months ago. She wanted to know what her like rating was as far as looks. You remember that?
No, but go on.
Okay. Well, she sent us for $2. Said my dad forced me to go to my high school graduation, and that's it.
Did he pay you? I mean, do you get a fair wage? I just wish kids would stand up to their parents on principled things, not to, I want to go out with Bobby. You know, Bobby's 28 and you're 17. You can't go out with Bobby. That I understand. But I want you to go to, when parents ask for truly stupid shit, I'm like, no, screw you. Is it my graduation or yours? I don't want to go to my graduate. I got this thing in the mail that says I graduated, and it's still worthless because it's a high school diploma. That's why you've got to go to another 4 years of school.
So I remember the first thing they told us, even though it was just 40 of us graduating, the first thing the freaking principal said was, so this is what you need to know. Graduation is not for you, and you're going to get nothing out of it. It's for your parents, family members, grandparents. And so that made me think, why the fuck am I even here? But yeah.
All right, what else?
All right. So for $2, High Alpha, this is the guy from earlier. He says, good answer on the last one, Chad. Don't be mad, bro. He's so insistent that it's not a bad thing to create your own cost basis for stocks that you've sold. And I said, that's fine. Just have some backup for it. So
right, you got to
that's all we're saying. This next one, Atham for $2 said, Elkins equals Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Now they're talking about my my outfit, but it's actually a sports ball jersey that I wore specifically to impress Clary. Because guess what I'm doing after this?
You're gonna go watch the Cubs beat the Astros.
Well, the Cubs will play the Astros and ultimately lose to the Astros. But at least I'm going to meet people to do it. I'm not going to sit at home and do that. Give me credit.
I'm going to give you credit for that because I'm going to go and do some heroines, but I'll be with friends who are also doing the heroines. So it'll be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
and I'm going to go have the gay sex, but it's with a group of people. So it'll be perfectly all right.
Ooh, a group orgy. Woo.
No. Unless there's a lot of redheads of the female persuasion.
But anyway, Atham was saying there's some character in Dragon Ball Z that has an outfit like this.
So. I used to know what Goku was. I watched Dragon Ball Z a little bit, and then I'm like, this sucks. This really sucks. It is horrible. So
for this next one, you're probably not going to get it, but everybody in the chat is going to get it. And I'll explain it to you if you want. For $5.56, Bacon Maldito says, I got the high testosterone, brah. And I leased the yacht with my 6 figs income with my MBA dude bro studies. Where is my business to get the girls?
Is it all block text?
No, I wish. That would have been harder to read, but it should have been in block text. Now,
what's the inside joke?
He's referring, there's the one I was just replying to who's been giving those super chats. His name is High Testosterone, and so he's created some other accounts. I know this because I blocked him on 2 of them. But then he started, contributing super chats on the 3rd, and he uses the word bra a lot and kind of trolls people in the chat. This is going back weeks since we've been doing this. So I think that's Bacon's shout out and tribute to High Testosterone.
Good. As long as I made $5 on it, that's fine.
Oh, check this out. Bacon says, unfortunately, YouTube changed the algorithms and that's the end of the super block texts. Well, that's a little bit sad.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I was looking forward to losing my breath.
Like, what dickhead, what moron at Google got sand in their vagina that they had to do that? You can't do block text?
That is a little bit. I
got to ask. What % of their labor budget is nannying, not nannying it, Nazi nannying and babysitting? What percent, like unnecessarily nagging and nitpicking? Like, do you not have anything better to do with the shareholders' money?
I'm going to say at least 30%, because I'm hearing more and more people's videos are getting demonetized and they're really cracking down on banning things.
I don't even monetize my videos anymore. I mean, rarely, because I'm just cursing and swearing. It just, I don't care.
Are the streams we do monetized? Or
these, no, they're up for monetization, but if there's too many curse words, they'll demonetize it. And I used to be a big not believer in a Patreon or donation or anything like that. But now I understand. Now I understand. And this is where it's like super chats is where it's at. That's the future. Because what's gonna end up happening is rated R, you're gonna inevitably gonna have to pay for it through some kind of donation or super chats, which is where I like here, you know, not to sound too much like Stefan Molyneux, but you get some equity. You can ask us a question, we'll give you advice, and hopefully the advice we give you earns you 10 times what you paid us or saves you 10 times what you paid us down the road. So it is an exchange. But yeah, the monetization, you got to keep it so clean, and then you're not you. You know, could you imagine me not cursing?
It's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be all Disney, and not even risque. You know, it's going to be rated G. It's got to be perfectly clean. It's going to be boring, and then there's going to be the rated PG-13 and up, where, well, I guess you can't do porn on YouTube. I'd love to have like a Howard Stern show, like chicks with big tits just coming on and talking about, oh, how much do I make, you know, webcamming. It'd be great to have a ton of naked webcam girls and talk about the economics of that. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen on YouTube, huh?
I'll ask my cam girl client if she wants to come on the show.
You know what? If Pornhub has something where we could do live streams, I will set up an account just for that. We'll set up an account just for that. I know I would love to have a conversation. Absolutely love to have a conversation. But that's what we're relegated. It's going to be G is fine for advertisers. And because they're politically correct, and because they see, that's the other thing. It's like leftists, they can't stop regulating shit. There always has to be something new, some new crisis for them to attack. Instead of like, no, I think we got enough rules now. No, we got to ban bags. No, we got to ban this. We got to. The Twin Cities is thinking about banning drive-through windows. A company, you know, like Taco Bell, stuff like that. And it's the same thing. Same people with the same mindset are at Google. It's like, oh, we got to ban this. What's this problem? Oh, that's not perfect. It's like, fuck. Soon this is not going to be a usable platform for anything except for the most boring, squeaky clean videos. And then I'm going to have I'm just going to have a puppies and kids channel. I'm just going to film puppies and kids doing cute shit, and I'll make millions of dollars, and there'll be no intellectual thought whatsoever.
Well, so a couple of things. I've not seen it myself, but I've heard that Pornhub now has ads there. Some people told me. I've never gone there to see it for myself.
Well, didn't they always have ads?
I don't remember them having. I mean, I've been told. I don't remember them having ads. So yeah, maybe they'll start doing something similar to YouTube. And the other thing I wanted your opinion on was, I know they get a cut. What is it, like 30% of the super chats?
Right.
And try to be objective about this. Do you think that's reasonable, or do you think it's unreasonable of them?
I say it's reasonable. I mean, they got their operating costs. Their servers cost a lot of energy. I mean, Google does provide a good service, and you want them to have profit at the end. You want them to provide the service. It doesn't exist without money. But it's just like, they could make so much more if they got their dicks out of everybody's ass and kept their dicks out of, because they'll do something great, like super chats comes along, or we monetize this, then they stick their dick in your ass. And, oh, we can't do this. We can't do it because of these rules. It's like, look, don't offer it if you're not going to offer it long term. Quit changing the fucking rules, and either monetize. And there's so many easier ways. This is rated R. Da, 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 da. And you have advertisers that are willing to, you know, I'll advertise G to rated X, and that's it. I'll advertise rated G to rated PG-13. I won't do R or X. Okay, all I want is to advertise on PG-13 and up. It's so simple, but there's a political, worthless sack of shit SJW with some sand in her vagina over at Google saying, well, oh, there's black text. We got to get rid of the black text because that's loud. And it's just like, Jesus Christ.
And they're doing it because the advertisers, you know, they want everything squeaky clean, or at least, you know, is that what's happening?
Is it? No, I don't know if it's, who came up with the idea that block text? I don't think advertisers even came up with that in the wildest imaginations. Hey, we got to use block text.
That is kind of weird. Yeah.
There's some crusader, some social justice warrior who's offended about something. I mean, one grain of sand is too much. This is like a speck of dust of sand got in her vagina, but it still irritated her enough. Now we got or a guy. Now we can't do block text. Like,
well, to be fair, that shit gets under my nerves too.
Well, yeah, but too bad. I mean, I guess.
I know.
All right, next super chat.
Okay, let me get back up there. We did Bacon's. Oh, okay, this is a pretty good one. Nonstop Dre 360 for $4.99 asks, do you recommend dating or going monk in college? I work security 40 hours a week, full-time student, work out and eat healthy every day with 2 incomes. This is kind of like your college life. So what are your thoughts?
Well, what I never understood this. Why are you working out then and eating healthy if you're not going to date? I mean, go ahead and date. But I would, it's how much time and investment do you want to go and try and get a date? Like I had girls, it was rare, but I did have girls that would ask me out because I'd be, escorting girls back and forth on campus, and you're in uniform, you're kind of quasi-heroic protecting her. So it was not uncommon that a lot of the guys, when we'd be walking girls home, they'd ask you out. And I was against the rules to say yes. We never went out with those girls. But I mean, if a girl asks you out and you like her, yeah, go on a date. But, I think one of the greatest things that ever happened to me was I was the accidental alpha where I didn't have the time or the money. And if a girl was going to go out with me, it's like, listen, sweetheart, I don't have time for your bullshit. You better fucking show up on that date. And if you don't, I'll fucking, tell all my friends and da-da-da. So don't waste my fucking time. And by the way, we're going to have sex because I'm not doing this. Well, I just want to, I'm not ready yet. No. I mean, a lot of girls say, well, you're fucking asshole, and they go away. But, yeah, I mean, if the opportunity comes up to date, go ahead and date. I don't see why you wouldn't. You'd make some kind of policy against it. But I would not. I'll tell you this. Nowadays, especially, and this is what I had to do in the 90s. And Chad, you remember this 50-50-25. I would double schedule. You always got to double schedule with your dates, especially in college. Especially if because, dude, I know if you miss one shift or you have the opportunity to work another shift, but, Amy said she'd go on a date with me, and then Amy doesn't show up. Well, now you're out $80, and that $80 could have gone a long way to pay for food or tuition. So you always, and I canceled on many women where I'm like, I don't think she's going to show up. And then they actually did. I'd be like, I'm sorry, I got called into work, which actually makes you look better in their eyes because you're pushing them back. But, yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, if an opportunity comes up to date a girl, go date the girl.
Yeah, like this isn't really my area, but instead of being like full monk mode, maybe be a little more passive about it and let opportunities come to you instead of actively going out there and I
don't invest your time going to a nightclub or chasing down a girl. I mean, you're there to get your degree and then get the fuck out with as little debt as possible. But you're on a college campus and there's girls there. And they're not all going to claim fake rape. And there might be one that's really cute and likes you. So, go ahead and ask her girl out. Yeah.
All right. We got just one more here and then we'll be
one more. Up. Cool. Then we could go on to the asshole consulting.
Bacon Maldito for $2.23 says YouTube's band name is Spaztardo and the Spectrums. Will you email me? Like, we're gonna do asshole consulting right now, right? I like to see these. Can you shoot me an email?
Oh God, why do you make me do this? All right, let me.
Because I want to be thorough. If it's block text, don't you want to see me get pissed?
No, you know what this is. Hang on. All right, let's do this first one. It says it hasn't been sent. All right, did you get the one from Ali?
Let's see.
Take a look. I sent it to your Gmail account.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Did it end up in spam?
No, it's here.
Awesome. Okay, good. Okay, so Ali writes, hello, Aaron. I have a fairly simple question. I have loved the responses to my other questions. I have recently graduated with my bachelor's in accounting a year early and will complete my MBA within 6 months. Please don't worry. It's only for $14,000 and just to get my 150 credit hours. That's a hell of a deal he got there for that MBA. That's a good job. Good job. I had 6 job offers, but narrowed it down to 2. One is for tax for $46,000 with $4,000 in overtime pay, making it $50,000. I live at home and commute, so I don't have to pay rent. It's for a firm with 40 to 60 people. The other is for an audit offer starting after my MBA for 60,000 in a, let's just say, a large Eastern town.
Right.
Major metro, I don't want to identify them, for a top 10 CPA firm. But I would have to pay rent, food, and parking. My thoughts are to take the tax job and plow through my MBA and then start the audit job with both offers accepted. Please tell me how much and a PayPal link. Thank you, Ali.
I think he's going about this in slightly the wrong way, because my first question would be, are you more interested in doing audit work or tax work? Because what he's doing is he has the opportunity to plant the seeds to pursue a career in one or the other. And I know there's things to consider, like, expenses, living at home, how much money you're making. But I think it's really important to try to figure out which one you're more interested in before we can attack this. I mean, what do you think?
I didn't think about that. I thought from a different angle. Net money, it's probably irrelevant because it's his take home and saving rent is going to be roughly the same disposable income he's going to have. So in that regard, I'd say go with whichever one you would, you'd like more. But then also the other is an audit offer starting after my MBA. So he's already got a job offer 6 months out. Is that common?
Yeah, that's actually pretty common. Like, because they recruit before you graduate, sometimes like up to a year, and then they just grab you while they can.
Yeah, but because you're the expert CPA, you know better. And I thought about that in a reverse sense. I would agree with Chad. Go with whichever is more interest to you, because net income is going to be the same.
Yeah.
But if you're truly indifferent between audit or tax, and you needed a secondary thing to decide, I would probably go and move out of your folks' place just to get the experience. That's what I was kind of leaning towards.
And he doesn't mention this, and he might not even know. And I've said this, way too many times, but I didn't hear anything on there about the CPA exam and which one would afford you not only more study time, but may even cover all the costs for you. That's really important. And you know what? All things being equal, I would say, regardless of what you're interested in, if you like audit, take that one because it is a little bit better on paper. You're moving out of your parents, you make more. It's after you get your MBA, so you'll have time to study. I'm not a big fan of that location that you would move to, but as long as you stay in a safe area, it should be fine.
Yeah, and another thing I think about this, okay, fine, your net income is about the same, but on paper, you start at 60, and then any future raises, like, well, I made 60 here, what are you going to offer me to come to your place? Whereas if you start at 50, then they say, well, okay, we'll pay you 62. And you're like, it's not that much of a pay raise. So, but yeah, I would definitely go with whichever one is more of a professional interest to you. And then if that still doesn't determine it, I'd probably make my way out to that major city just for the experience.
And he also didn't say anything about debt levels. So yeah, I don't know if that's a factor and maybe wanting to stay home versus move out.
Well, if he's like, he's getting his MBA for $14,000. I don't think he's got.
That's ridiculously cheap.
It's good. I'm real proud of you go, man, you go. So, all right, we have that one.
Do you think we answered that one enough? I mean, I have follow-up questions. I wish.
Go ahead, ask away.
Well, yeah, if you're seeing this, let us know if you're truly indifferent about, tax or audit. Let us know if there's anything about the CPA exam, if they told you anything. And yeah, let us know about your debt level. Those are the things I would want to know.
Okay. Let's go to this one here. Hang on. Oh, you want me to forward this to you? Hang on.
Yeah. I like to look at these.
You're a damn secretary. Can you at least call me Bambi?
Hello, Bambi. You're having a nice low-cut top today.
No, I actually got to have kind of the Humphrey Bogart. Yeah, Bambi, why don't you send me the email from Bob?
Oh, you.
No, she would call you. Yes, Mr. Elkins. Right away, Mr. Elkins. Oh, Mr. Elkins, you can't go to work that drunk. Shut up, Bambi.
You look so sexy with your beard there, Mr. Elkins.
See, but those gumshoe detectives were always smart enough not to have sex with their secretaries. because they needed them. Secretaries were always sharp, man. You couldn't, because they didn't have to constantly get new secretaries. They'd bang their clients' wives, but they would not bang the secretaries because they knew they needed. Those gals are always covering their six. They always light them a cigarette, give them the cigarette, and then they kind of run ideas off of the girl. Those are classy dames. That's what they called them. They called them dames. Dames. All right. Cappy. I don't want to mention his name on the internet. Been listening for years, communicated with you a few times. Love the show and the blog. I have a question that is probably for Chad, and that I was hoping to do through Super Chat. Unfortunately, I'm always at work when you do the live stream podcast. Let me know if this is a question. For reasons which will be obvious, I need to remain pretty anonymous, which I'm trying to do. He worked as a lead mechanic, and then he became a teacher.
A what?
Okay. A teacher. Almost immediately, I started receiving phone calls asking if I still worked as this mechanical person. Figured, why not? I'm a good mechanic because the gig is part-time side hustle, because I have no intention of expanding. I left because I earn about 10 to 15,000 a year. This is on the side of him being a mechanic. About a year and a half ago, I closed down my brick and mortar location. A friend's shop where I gave him 10% of my take in cash, and he retired and moved away and bought a trailer, which I converted into a mobile shop. Now I travel to my customers' homes and fix and maintain their vehicles. You can see up my setup here at this blog. Question, I have never become an official business because of the small amount of money that I'm taking in would become not worthwhile if I had to pay 40% taxes and fees, not to mention the amount of time that would then go into keeping accounts, filing reports, etc. Presumably also to include meeting all sorts of OSHA regulations, environmental regulations, business licenses, and all the towns I travel to, 8 jurisdictions in my count, and so on. Any advice for moving forward? I probably will do this for another 4 or 5 years at this level of activity, and then maybe another 4 to 5 years slowly tapering off as I don't need the money, but can use it to sock away a bit of extra for down the road. Is it worth the risk, or is it a less expensive or intrusive way to become official? Thanks. And then I had a question for him. Just so I'm clear, you bring in 10 to 15,000 profit or revenue. He says 10 to 15 year is labor income only, and based on flipping through the receipts of book and adding up the stuff when I was debating whether to buy the truck or the trailer parts. I make a very small percentage on sometimes, mostly because the local motorcycle shop gives me 10% discount, and then I charge the customers full retail. He sells this, Okay, so this is his take home is 10 to 15,000 a year cash.
So it's a side business, essentially.
It's a side business, but he's wondering, is it worth making it more official, like making an LLC out of the deal, having actual accounts, or just keeping it kind of like his beer money fund? You know, is $10,000 to $15,000 worth setting up a legitimate business?
So I'll tell you what most people do, and then I'll have a few thoughts about why you might want to do something different. Most of the people that bring in about 10,000 to at most 20,000 in gross, not net, I said gross, they keep it pretty informal. They don't set up a formal LLC. They don't have any kind of entity. It's just like a hobby. You know, usually it's spouses that are raising kids or people that might even be in school. One thing that I have a slight concern about this. So let me test you. What's one of the main reasons why people form LLCs?
Legal protection.
Yeah, and that was what came to my mind immediately when I was reading this, because he's repairing these things, right? He's a mechanic.
Right.
So I'm not a lawyer, but I would think you might want to have some kind of legal protection that separates the business from everything that you have personal, because you could be held liable maybe if there's some kind of problem that leads to a wreck. And I could be wrong about this. I don't know. But I think that would be the main reason why you want to incorporate there. There's no tax benefit either way. It's a disregarded entity, and it all goes on your Schedule C. But this is actually, for me, a legal reason why you might want to do it.
Right.
What do you think?
I agree with the legal reason. The other thing that I was thinking about is I get cash in part because he doesn't want to keep accounts. It's not, I don't think he's trying to dodge the tax man as much as like, dude, I don't want to deal with this fucking paperwork.
Right. Yeah.
And he has a good point with OSHA and all that other stuff. But not only setting up an LLC would provide you this legal protection or a certain amount of it. A lot of people most people don't fully avail themselves of legitimate tax deductions because most people don't have an accounting mind. I'm trying to remember who it was. Somebody was, it wasn't cigars. He was selling something. And I'm like, well, did you save your receipt for this? No, why would I? Well, did you save your receipt for that? No, why would I? When you start your own business, a lot of things now become tax deductible that weren't before.
Correct.
And so at the $10,000 to $15,000 a year mark, I think he's gonna wash neutral. It's gonna be a neutral. It's gonna be a wash when it comes to taxes because now he can start taking deductions on other things. Anytime he buys tools, he can write that off. Anytime he wants to buy, his own gear and equipment, he can write that off. Anytime he wants to go to a convention that would involve these type of vehicles, he can write that off.
Mileage is big with him.
Mileage, yeah, your computer. And when you add all those up, you know, whether you declared this income and then took these deductions, or you took it under the table, I think it's going to be a net zero between the two. It's just that forming an LLC, you'll get the added legal protection. And then for expansion purposes, you got your LLC, you have a business account, you can set up a website, so it's a little bit more legitimate. I know that his goal is not to expand it, but to perhaps wrap it down. But going forward, I think it's worth getting the shoebox, saving your receipts, maybe even talking to Chad a little bit, or like teach me how to identify tax deductions. Doing it on the up and up for the legal protection, but then also I don't think you're going to lose any money because when you really think about it, you know, you gotta, like today, I had to have the fucking guy come over, like, take a look at this. Oh, and I got to go get new routers. Now I got to go get new ports, LAN ports and all that. That adds up. And as if you were just some dope staying home playing video games, you wouldn't be able to write that off. But because I need it for work, these are things you get to write off. So I would definitely be going with the LLC route because I don't see any necessary financial drawbacks or tax drawbacks, and I only see an upside when it comes to legal protection.
Right, and you know, a thing about LLCs, it's not really that complicated or expensive to form one. Like Illinois sucks because you have to pay $250 to form one. It used to be $500. It was only in the last year or two that got knocked down.
I thought they wanted businesses.
Yeah, that's why corporations keep leaving. But anyway, he didn't say where he was, but I wouldn't say it anyway. It's probably not expensive at all or hard just to open up an LLC. And the other thought I had was if he's going to continue doing this, you know, get the LLC and go ahead and open up a business bank account because that helps people track their expenses a lot more. You can get a business credit card. And so, you know, you only use this card or this account for business income and expenses. And that really helps people when it comes to like bookkeeping and keeping track of things. So I would say if he's planning on doing this for the near future and keep it as a side business with the option to turning it into a full-time business, go ahead and open up that LLC.
Nothing just dawned on me. If he's also got this business reputation, he wants to wind it down, he could sell it to somebody else. Sure. Now you have records. Now you have a paper trail that proves the income generating capacity of this business, and you could sell it to somebody as a little black book of business and maybe make a little tidy sum.
Sure.
That's what I did with my dance classes. I mean, I'm like, here's my book of business. Do you want it? Well, it's going to cost you this much. And I made my cash.
Absolutely. I think we agree what he should do. Yeah.
No. All right. Let's get to the super chats and back because then in 15 minutes, the lovely GF will be back. And then we're going to go to Din Din. Many thanks to all you guys and your very generous super chats. I appreciate it very much.
So when she comes back, we will turn off the live and then I'll say hi. No, I'm just kidding.
We could do that. I'm sure she'll be very happy to say hi to you. Everybody loves Raymond and everybody loves Chad.
I need an explanation for her about that weird looking blanket next to you.
My minion blanket?
Yeah.
Bitch, dig the minions, man. What this is a perfect girl getter. Dude, guys, cartoon blankets, man. You just have them on your couch or your bed. Like, oh, he's got minions. He must be a nice, sweet man. His penis is all right now. No, I'll suck him. I mean, it's just, but you don't want to, you know, a Rush Limbaugh blanket. You want a cartoon blanket. Yeah.
All righty. Well, let's see. Jonathan Flores gave us $1, but I don't see any question here, so I think he just wanted to give us a buck.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now for bacon, $2.23. What needs to be downloaded for YouTube live stream? I don't think you have to download anything, do you?
Nothing. No, you need a YouTube channel. That's it. I mean, you need a webcam. You don't even need a webcam. You really just need a microphone. Without the webcam, you just do audio. But yeah, all you need is a YouTube account.
Yeah, and it was a lot better once I got this microphone. No. So I agree on the microphone. No.
Where did you get that microphone, by the way?
It was like $10 off of Amazon. And guess what I did with it? Because it's kind of related to my business.
Well, hang on. Which Amazon link did you go through? Did you go to Amazon.com?
I did it through yours.
Oh, so you went to olderbrother.com/donate. You clicked on the Amazon banner and you did all your online shopping there, like everybody listening should for the rest of their lives, right?
Well, it was either Older Brother or your other one, but it was definitely one of them.
Yeah, well, it's the same link. It's just different websites. I heard that Mary Jo will send us more lingerie-clad pics to put up at our Patreon page if everybody does their shopping through my Amazon affiliate program at olderbrother.com/donate.
All right.
All right, next question.
That's actually it for now. We're caught up with the super chats. Was there anything else you wanted to go over?
No, that was it. I just want to talk about prom.
Oh yeah.
And accidentally rims and graduations and when do people peak? And we just made a shit ass. I really wanted to get those 2 questions out of the way because they specifically requested you.
I'm a little surprised about the second one needing me. That seems a little bit more up your alley, but
Chad. This is called the Elkins Strip Hour. That's what it's really called. Okay? People want you to shake your ass so they can take that dollar bill and tuck it into your thong. Nobody gets. I'm the DJ in this outfit. I just wiki. Now, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Chi-Town, Illinois, the man with the beard, Chad, thong wearing Elkins.
Sports ball wearing jersey.
Ball, right?
You know.
The Astro A's. No, that's the Athletic A's. Never mind. No, that's it. Plug your stuff.
All right. Well, you can go to elkinscpa.com. That's where you can contact me. I'm pretty full in terms of clients go, but I do like to give advice like we were doing today. So shoot me a question if need be. And you can also find some books that my father and I wrote on Amazon, but I don't want you to go there to buy them.
Good Christ, no.
Yeah. I want you to go to Cappy's links and use affiliate program and buy them. It's the Elkins Comprehensive Tax Guide 2019. And we also bought a book specifically related to the changes with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act from last year. So, yeah.
Outstanding. All right. And then all of my stuff, ladies and gentlemen, go to olderbrother.com and there's links to pretty much everything there, including an email archive, which I got to update. This is the first Older Brother we've done in a while, right? It's been 2 weeks, hasn't it?
I was clean shaven last time we did it. So you know, now it's gray.
Yeah. Anyway, so you could go to olderbrother.com, go to my main site, captaincapitalism.blogspot.com. There's links to everything there. If you need books, a lot of the wisdom we teach here can be learned for cheaper by reading either Bachelor Pad Economics, Worthless, Poor Richard's Retirement, The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty, and Reconnaissance Man. Those are all available paperback and Kindle, and most of them are an audio book. Shit, what else do I do? We got the Clary podcast, but they're both on the same SoundCloud, and you can find that over on my YouTube channel. Just search Aaron Clary. There are 2 YouTube channels. There's the Older Brother channel, and then there's the Aaron Clary channel. Subscribe to both. It helps out tremendously in terms of getting us out there and having the video advertised on the side thing of the side group. And, oh, what's this? This is interesting. And then if I get 100,000 subscribers on the Aaron Clary channel, Google gives me a guy. I get a guy.
A guy?
They assign you a people. They assign you a person.
Can it be a chick?
Dude, no. I'm like, no, just send me a guy. I don't need false accusations today. I just have a guy. I don't think a woman would work with us. I really don't. I don't think there'd be any woman that would, unless she was like a cool cat and was like truly mercenary and making money. I'd be like, no, that's all right. Amazon affiliate program. You got that. Yeah, and then the main one is if you only want to help out Older Brother, olderbrother.com/donate. 3 ways you could do it. PayPal link for a donation. Do you get anything if you donate there, Chad?
At the donation, you do. Well, you get to feel like you did a very good deed, and that's payment enough within itself.
Yes, yeah. But since we don't believe in that bullshit, you could go to the Patreon link, and there you actually do get something now. You get access to all the stuff that's behind the Patreon wall, which once again only includes an article I wrote, "Sanity is the Future of Wealth," and that will definitely put you in a better mood. And then there are some nice pictures of Mary Jo. She's kindly provided for us in various states of the ooh and the e and the ah, pinup style, 1950s pinup style. And then you get nothing else out of that. And then there's the Amazon affiliate program where it doesn't cost you anything more to shop through that Amazon link. So if you kindly could do all your Amazon shopping through there. And I think that's about it. Elkins, anything else?
That's all I got.
Good. We'll see you guys next week. Chad, take us out appropriately.
Sports ball. Toodles.